Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching.
While Mattathias died sometime in 166 BC from causes unknown, he would be succeeded by his third son, Judah, a dynamic young commander who, through a mixture of ferocity, ruthlessness, and bravery, would come to be known as Maccabeus, a word deriving from the Aramaic Maccaba, the hammer. At the early stages, the rebellion was not a struggle between Jews and Greeks, but a civil conflict between pro- and anti-Hellenic Jews. The Maccabees began their movement with a terror campaign, launching lightning raids upon predominantly Jewish towns. They killed many of their own countrymen, who they considered too Greek, burning down their homes and destroying the pagan altars where they worshipped. Most notably, they rounded up the sons of Hellenized Jews and had them forcefully circumcised. The message was simple. Greek culture was to be purged from Judea. Before long, the Maccabees had earned the attention of the military governor.
Now, so this is when the Israelites was being attacked by the children of Esau, which were the Roman, the so-called white man. But the Israelites, they start to assemble their armies and prepare to fight these dragons. And the first thing they did when the battle started to get at a head, they went and purged out the traitors. See, the ones that was joining the other nations, serving their gods, they went on a rampage or a cleansing program, purging out these rebels. You see, because they want to follow the heathen and follow their gods and follow their philosophies and live like the heathen. So they was going to either be put to death or you going to be forced to keep these laws. They went even further to circumcise the men that was raised up, that they knew that was Israelites, but they was sitting around serving the so-called white man and what he had going on. See, this was nothing new. Let's get another time, Salakia. Okay, here go another time. Here goes some detail. 2 Maccabees 10:21, it say, but when it was told Maccabeus what was done, he called the governors of the people together and accused those men that they had sold their brethren for money and set their enemies free to fight against them. So he slew those that were found traitors and immediately took the two castles. You see, this is what we did in the past. And see, I'm going to bring this back to the present day. See, but this is what we did. When you had these rebels and these traitors, we put they behind the death. You see, now this is before Yahushua, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. So nowadays, these peoples is getting the pass. Let's get it right now. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 11. No, Ecclesiastes, Salakia. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. See, because Yahushua gave these people grace. And so they ain't gonna get purged out. They ain't gonna get put to death But this is, he only giving them grace for a certain period of time. You're not going to be able to follow the heathen in their wickedness for a long period of time. It's going to become a time that it's going to be cut out. And I see the clock say 1:44. So let me go get to the point. So, they following the false prophets. They following all of these people. Now we know that the Most High is blinding these individuals because they rejecting the truth. Let's get that. He just didn't blind them because he just want to blind them. But look at what he say in in Second Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. It says, and for this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. That, let's get 12. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. You see, they had pleasure in following the heathens. They had pleasure in trading on their people, hating their own people, not looking at the interests of their own people, hating it, believing what a so-called white man got to say, believing what a so-called Chinese, Japanese, Arab, Hamite, anybody but their own peoples, they believe in what they got to say in the interest of what they got going on. Because everybody know that the Israelites is separate. They're a holy nation. Nobody is with them. Every nation is separate. Shoot, that's why we call them a nation. But every nation look after its own interest and its own glory. Let's get that real quick just to get the context before I hit them with the hammer. See, all these nations are looking out for their interests because this is the time of the Gentiles to rule. It says in 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. See, they own all of them looking out for their interests, looking out for their glory, supporting their people and their gods and their cultures. But you got the Israelites, they wants to be some rebellious Negroes, blacks and Hispanics, and they want to follow after the freaking heathen. Let's go right back to the Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. You see, this is what these people are doing. Becoming traitors, making covenant with the enemy of their own nation, certified enemy. You can't believe just because the information coming from the enemy, you can't dismiss it. All information comes from the enemy. Just they stole all of our information, and we have to get everything from the enemy. So we have to listen to the enemy. You see, they come up with all kind of concepts in their little head. But see, that time's gonna run out. That grace is going to run out. And this is what's going to happen. Jeremiah 16. That grace going to run out. And look at the order of this situation. It's talking about the second coming of the Messiah. When that grace run out. This is when the grace run out. It said, therefore, behold, the days come, says the Lord, that it shall be no more said, the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. That was the first slavery. Here go the second deliverance, the second coming of Yahushua. It say, but the Lord liveth, 15, but the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither they was driven on slave ships and in many captivities. And I will bring them again into the land that I gave to their father. Behold, verse 16, I will send for many fishers, says the Lord. They shall fish them after what I send for many hunters. And they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, out of the holes of the rocks. See, there's no place you're going to be able to hide. Look at 17. For my eyes are upon all their ways, trading on their own peoples, being a snitch, being a hater of your own people, They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eye. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double. See, you jokers is gonna get double. See, if it weren't for Yahweh, we would put y'all to death. See, if it weren't for Yahweh, y'all want to so-called hang out with the heathen and make a covenant with the heathen. Just like back in the day, we would put these Negroes to death. We would put these people to death. Forget this. Let's separate Israel and the Israelites, and let's separate slavery. Let's separate all of that. Look at the conditions of our people right now. If we stand up and these Negroes sitting up here following the so-called white man, we would have put them to death, man. See, they giving you minimum wage. They working you sun up to sundown. They got all kind of block boundaries, and throwing you in their prisons, holding you, all of your men in prison. They got y'all behind cages all around the land. Men in these caged houses. And this is a good way to picture it. Say you take the walls off the prison, take the roof off the prison, just leave the bars. All around America, you got blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans in these freaking bars, locked up, and you got all these people around here acting like nothing ain't going on, acting like they free, acting like they people ain't being oppressed. See, if we the same, and their family members, uncles, cousins, if we raise up, you think we gonna show some pity on a Negro trying to take the enemy side who locking us, got us locked up all around the country? We putting them to death. Then look at how they look at it. Oh, they committed a crime, such and such. No, we've been oppressed, and poverty make people commit crime. If people didn't want dealing with poverty, they wouldn't get into a lot of these situations. Poverty caused crime to rise. Cut out the lights. Close the grocery store. Crime is finna be rampant all over the place. Because it's the condition that is being set. And you got a bunch of billionaires and trillionaires operating all of this. And you got Negroes, the women and the men, sitting around here acting like ain't nothing going on. They would be put to death, man. But they have been shown mercy just by that. Because the mighty men would have stood up. See, if this wasn't God's plans and he telling us what to do at a specific time and when to do it and when not to do it, these people would have been put to death, man. We would have been collected these Negroes up and start putting them to death. Ain't gonna be no you gonna trade on us and be a traitor or a spy for the other nation. No, we just gonna put you to death and go by our agenda. We not finna have you weakening our nation. You the only Negroes sitting around here worried about what the other people got going on and not your own family. See, it's about family, man. And a man is going to protect his family, look out for his family, not going to be worried about what other people's family got going on. He giving all his money to other people and dealing with other people. See, this is how the Negroes is acting right now. But when you look at what the Israelites did, let's go to Jeremiah 8:2. Because they put them folks to death. It wasn't none of this crap that's going on. But look at what it say in verse 3. It say that, and death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places where I have driven them. So this is what they doing. The two so-called 2/3 is choosing death, man. And we would have put they behind the death if it was up to us. But this is Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. This they program. They gonna put them to death and on their time and on their schedule. But if this was just, without them two factors, without them getting grace from the Most High and His Son, they would have been finished. Because we're talking about the backsliding. They hold fast on deceit. Look at verse 5, man. This is what the two-thirds and the traitors is all about. Why then is this people of Jerusalem sliding back from a perpetual backsliding? Because they hold fast to deceit. They want to believe the so-called white man, the known liar, the greatest liar in the history of mankind. They refuse to return. See, Negroes refuse to return to their peoples. They want to sit out and go to somebody else's land and join themselves to some other people. When you know your history, you know where you come from, Negroes. You ain't totally retarded. You see, but they want to. They refuse to return because deceit is good to them. Let's go to Isaiah. I'm gonna close out with this one right here because this tells the whole story. Isaiah 30:10. It said, "We say unto the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits." See, they want deceit because deceit is smooth to them. It feels good. It's pleasurable. See, it's pleasurable to them, and they want to live in this pleasure, and they don't want to give it up. See, but man, if this was in the ancient world, these people would be put to death. If it weren't for Yahweh, why Yahweh, ye would be put to death. All traitors would have been purged. See, America throw their traitors and they spies in prison and probably put they behind the death. Depends on how great the trading, how great the treason is. Because that's what it is, treason. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, and Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.